Good morning to one and all, and welcome back to Online Education Channel by BMC. This is Vaijayanti Patil from Turve MPS. Today we are going to deal with Introduction to Biotechnology, Plant Permanent Tissues. Let us just quickly recap what we have learned in our last class. We have dealt with the meristematic tissues, which are the tissues that can divide and redivide throughout their life. And we have seen three types of meristematic tissue, that is apical meristem present at the tips of root and stem. Second one is lateral meristem that is present near the base of the petiole, and the intercalary meristem which is present within the grid of the stem. Today we are going to start with permanent plant tissues. These in turn are of two main types. First is simple tissue. Simple tissue means they are made up of single cell type. Hence they are called as simple tissue. Simple tissues are of three types. First, parenchyma, second, collenchyma, and third, sclerenchyma. The second subtype of permanent tissue is complex tissue, which are composed of more than two different types of cell types. Hence, they are known as complex tissues. These are of two types. First is xylem and second is phloem. Today, we are going to study these tissues in detail. Now, what is permanent tissues? The tissue that grow to a particular size, acquire a particular shape, and loses their ability to divide further, which stops dividing after attaining particular size and shape. Those tissues are known as permanent tissues. They perform specific function throughout their life. They are also known as differentiated tissues. There are two types of permanent tissues, simple and complex. To start with, let us study an activity in which we have to take a leaf of Rohio plant. Now, what is Rohio plant? You can see over here. This plant with pink side at the pink color at the back side, this is known as Rohio plant. We have to take a leaf of the Rohio plant, peel it gently, and take a piece of the Rohio leaf, put it in water. After cleaning it with water, we have to take it into a stain. This stain is known as safranin stain, so that the tissue gets the color. You have to keep it in the safranin stain for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, again transfer it into water to remove the excess stain, and then put that piece of tissue on the slide. Add 1 to 2 drops of glycerin on the slide and then cover it with cover slip. After covering with the cover slip, and observe it under the microscope. Now, when we observe that slide in the microscope, we can see such types of cell. Observe it carefully. The shape of the cell is hexagonal and they are very compactly arranged. You can see that there is no space or no gap in between the two cells. So they are very tightly arranged or compactly arranged without any intercellular space. Then if you observe the cell walls of the cell, they are very thin, and the pinkish color that you see is a cytoplasm. So that it is rich in cytoplasm. Okay. This tissue is known as epidermis. Epidermis is a type of simple permanent tissue. Above the layer of epidermis, there is a waxy layer which is known as cuticle. We'll see about the cuticle in the next slide. Now first, epidermis. It is the outermost surface of the plant and made up of one layer of cell. They are usually flat and without any intercellular spaces. They do not have the intercellular spaces. And it forms a continuous layer. Above the epidermis, as I said, there is a waxy coating because of which the leaves appear to be shiny. And even when we put water on the leaves, we can get the droplets of the water, as you can see in this picture. And even in the winter season or the rainy season, we can see such water droplets arranged on the leaf. It is because of the waxy coating that is present on the epidermis. Usually, this is known as cuticle, and it prevents the retention of water loss from the plant, as well as it prevents the dehydration of the internal tissues within the plant. Now, first we will see the simple permanent tissues. In this, as I said, there are three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. We'll see each type of this in detail. First is the parenchyma tissue. Talking about structure of the parenchyma cells, they are living cells with rich cytoplasm. They are thin-walled and intercellular spaces between them. Usually, they are found in the parts like root, stem, leaves, flowers, and seed. Almost all the parts of the plant contains parenchyma tissue. This is how we can see the parenchyma in the transverse section when we observe it under the microscope. This is how the slide looks like. Okay. See, it is similar to the epidermis. Single layer, flat cells without intercellular spaces and rich in cytoplasm. Function of the parenchyma cell is to support the plant tissues. It also helps in storage of food and filling the vacant places within the permanent tissues. We can see two subtypes in the parenchyma cells. First is chlorenchyma. Chlorine means chyma, meaning the cell, and chlorine means the cell or the tissue which contains chlorophyll pigment. So the speciality of chlorenchyma is this tissue contains chlorophyll in it. We all know chlorophyll is very important for the process of photosynthesis. So in every green plant, we found chlorenchyma. They are usually present in the leaves and also in the tender stems. Function, it performs photosynthesis. Then the second subtype is called as erenchyma tissue. This is speciality of the aquatic plants. Eren meaning the tissue that is filled with air, or tissue specialized or modified for storage of Air. Now, why do plants need air? This is usually found in aquatic plants that floats above the water surface. For floating, the plant requires buoyancy, and hence this parenchyma tissue makes the aquatic plant buoyant so that they can float on the water surface. Now, giving some examples of the plant containing parenchyma. This is the Eichhornia plant. The stem of this plant contains the parenchyma cell. This is water lily, or even in lotus you get parenchyma. The stem of the lotus or the water lilies contains the parenchyma tissues, as you can see in this picture. See, this is how the parenchyma tissue looks like. You can see these bubble-like gaps within the plant. See, this is a Eichhornia plant, and this is a stem of Eichhornia, where you can see these air spaces if you cut the stem of those tissue. This parenchyma tissue makes the leaf or the stalk of the leaf and stem spongy and buoyant so that they can float on the water. So its main function is help aquatic plants to float on the water surface. So please remember this. Chlorenchyma is the tissue. Chlorenchyma is the parenchyma tissue that contains chlorophyll, and they are found in leaves or the tender stem. Whereas parenchyma is the parenchyma tissue that is modified for storage of air. It is present in the aquatic plants, and it provides buoyancy to the aquatic plants for floating above the water surface. Talking about the second type of tissue, that is collenchyma. Collenchyma has elongated cell, as you can see in this picture. The cells are elongated with thick walls. Observe this picture carefully. The wall of the tissue are thicker as compared to the parenchyma cell. At the corners of the cell, you can see this red color structure. That is the thickening of cellulose and pectin, deposition of cellulose and pectin, because of which the cell wall of the collenchyma becomes thicker. Usually, collenchyma cells are present at the base of the leaf, petiole, and branches and stem. Function of collenchyma is to support and provide flexibility to various parts of the plants. Third simple tissue is sclerenchyma. Observe the figure carefully. You can see that the cell has tapering end. They have the tapering ends. So they are spindle-shaped fibers. These are also known as dead cells or dead tissue. See, parenchyma and collenchyma were the living tissues, whereas sclerenchyma is known as dead tissue with tapering end. And as compared to the chlorenchyma, cell or the cell wall of the sclerenchyma is much thicker, as you can see in this picture. This thickening is also due to deposition of a special protein that is known as lignin. So the sclerenchyma shows deposition of the lignin, due to which the cell wall becomes much thicker. They are usually present in the stem, in the veins of the leaf, on the seed coats, and outer covering of the coconut. Whatever hard part of the plant that we observe, including the covering of the stem, which has become hard, seed coats, fruit coats, which are hard. They contain the sclerenchyma tissue. This is how we observe the section of sclerenchyma tissue under the microscope. Again, I'll repeat. The cell are spindle shaped, tapering at the both end. Cell wall are thick due to deposition of lignin, and they are also called dead or the fibrous cell. They are present in the stem, veins of the leaf, hard seed coat, and covering of the fruits. They give strength and rigidity to the plant parts. Sorry. Remember, these are the main three simple cell types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Now we are going to start with the complex tissues. This tissue will contain combination of the simple permanent tissues in it. Okay. As I said, complex permanent tissues are the tissues which are formed by a composition of more than two different cell types. There are two main complex permanent tissues. One is xylem, which looks like this, and the other is phloem, which looks like this. Now let us study these tissues in detail. First is xylem. Xylem consists of thick wall dead cells. There are four different types of cells which makes the xylem. They are known as tracheids, vessels, xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. Now, what is tracheids? See, these cells which are at the side of the pipe-like structure, they are known as tracheids. They are the supportive cells. The cells that you see, the pipe-like structure, okay, elongated cells which are joined with each other, these are known as vessels. Vessels, they are connected to each other and form a pipeline from top to the bottom. Okay. Then it contains xylem parenchyma, which acts as a supportive medium for storage of food and the nutrients and filling the gaps between the tissues. And this brown color that you see, they are known as xylem fiber, which are actually the sclerenchyma cells, okay, that are known as xylem fiber or the dead cells. They works as a support for the vessel tissue. As I said, it forms the pipeline from top to bottom. They are interconnected tubes and they conduct water and minerals in upward direction. You all know plant absorb the water and minerals from the soil. So that absorbed water and mineral nutrients from the root are carried to the upper parts of the plant, that is to the every leaf, every fruit and flower of the plant at the top, from roots to the top. This movement in the upward direction is carried out in the xylem tissue. So the main function of xylem is to conduct water and minerals in the upward direction. I hope you all have understood this. I'll repeat it again. Xylem consists of thick wall dead cells. It contains four different types of cell tissues. They are tracheids, which you can see in this lining. They are supportive in nature. They support the vessel tissue. Vessels, these are the short cylindrical tube-like structure which are connected to each other to form a pipeline. And xylem parenchyma, which has storage of nutrients and food, and the sclerenchyma or the xylem fiber cells, which provides support to this vessel tissue. Main function of xylem is to conduct water and minerals in the upward direction. The second complex tissue is phloem tissue. It is characterized by cytoplasm containing living cells. There are again 4 different types of cell types in phloem. They are sieve tube. Now, what is sieve tube? Sieve is a mesh-like structure which you can observe over here. This is known as sieve tube. At both the ends of the tube, there are sieve-like plates. These are known as sieve tubes. Then the companion cell. This elongated oval-shaped cells that you see next to the sieve tube, they are known as companion cell. Sieve tube cells do not contain any nucleus, whereas companion cell contains the nucleus. So all the control of this sieve tube cell is carried out by the companion cell. So they are the best friends. Next is phloem parenchyma, which are the living cells. It contains cytoplasm that stores nutrients into it. Then it also contains phloem fibers. Okay, this or the sclerenchyma, phloem sclerenchyma, or also called as phloem fibers. They are the dead cells. They support the sieve tube element. They support the sieve tubes. Structure: the sieve tube elements are joined to each other again to form a pipeline-like structure. Now, function of phloem is to carry out the nutrients that are formed by the process of photosynthesis or during the process of respiration within each part of the plant in all the direction. Remember, flow of the nutrients in the phloem is in upward as well as downward direction. Now, what is carried out in the downward direction? We all know photosynthesis is performed by the leaves. So whatever starch is produced by the process of photosynthesis, it is taken in the downward direction towards the other parts of the plant, that is stem and the roots. Okay. And even the other nutrients that are formed during the process of respiration are also carried out in different directions wherever the need of that element is there. So main function of phloem is to conduct sugar, amino acid from the leaves to the various part in upward as well as downward direction. I'll repeat it again. Phloem is the permanent tissue containing living cells. It is composed of 4 different types of cells: sieve tube, companion cell, phloem parenchyma or the living cells, phloem fiber or phloem sclerenchyma, also known as dead cells. You can see this arrangement in this picture. Sieve tube. This is a tube-like structure with sieve mesh at both the ends of the tube. Hence, it is known as sieve tube. Sieve tubes are connected to each other to form a pipeline structure through which the nutrients can be conducted in all the directions. Sieve tube element does not contain nucleus, so it has a companion cell which contains the nucleus and supports the functioning of the sieve tube. Phloem also contains phloem parenchyma, which helps in storage of the nutrient and provides support to the tissue. And phloem fiber or phloem sclerenchyma, which provides rigidity to the tissue so that the nutrients can be transferred from one direction to the other direction. So let us quickly recap what we have studied today. Today we have seen into permanent tissues of the plant. Permanent tissues are the tissues that have lost their ability to divide and redivide. They acquire specific shape and size and perform a specific function throughout their life. Permanent tissues are of two types: simple and complex. Tissues that are made up of single cell type are known as simple tissues. Simple tissues, we have seen three types. First is parenchyma cells. They are also known as living cells. They are rich in cytoplasm, flat in structure, and usually arranged in a single layer. The cells of parenchyma tissue are compactly arranged without intercellular spaces in them. They are present in each and every part of the plant, that is root, stem, leaf, flower, and fruits. Then next cell type or the tissue type is parenchyma. In parenchyma, we have studied two subtypes. One is chlorenchyma, the parenchyma tissue that contains chlorophyll are known as chlorenchyma tissue. They are present in the leaves and performs the function of photosynthesis. Second subtype that we have seen is erenchyma tissue. These are specialized for storage of air and found in the aquatic plants. Function of erenchyma is to provide buoyancy to the aquatic plants so that they can float on the water surface. Second simple tissue that we have studied is the chlorenchyma tissue. They are slightly elongated. Chlorenchyma are also living tissue with cytoplasm but has thicker wall as compared to parenchyma. They show deposition of cellulose and pectin in the cell wall. Then the third shell type, tissue type that we have studied in simple tissue is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is also known as dead tissue or plant fibers. They lack the cytoplasm. They are elongated but tapering at both the ends. So they are spindle shaped and they also have thick wall with deposition of lignin on it. Now because of the lignin, they get the brownish color that we can see on the stem. Okay. They provides rigidity and support to the plant tissue and are usually found in all the hard parts of the plant, that is the stem, the fruit coats, the seed coat, veins of the leaf. In every hard structure of the plant, we can see the sclerenchyma tissue. After simple tissue, we studied about the complex tissue. The tissues that are composed of more than single cell types or more than two cell types are known as complex tissues. In this, we have studied two subtypes. First is xylem, which consists of four different types of cells. First is the vessels, tracheids, which supports the vessels, xylem parenchyma, which also supports and stores the water and nutrients, and the xylem fiber, which provides support and rigidity to the tissue. Xylem tissue, the vessels are arranged one after the other to form a pipeline-like structure, and it conducts water and minerals that are absorbed from the soil in the upward direction to all the upper parts of the plants. So remember, xylem is water conducting tissue. The second tissue type is phloem tissue. First is, okay, this is a tube with a sieve plate, that is a mesh at both the ends. Hence, it is known as sieve tube. They do not known as companion cell, contains nucleus and supports the function of so contain. See, as it is present in phloem, here it is known as phloem parenchyma. Remember, the function of parenchyma is same. It provides support and storage of food. Then phloem fibers. We know sclerenchyma, function of sclerenchyma will do same function, that is support the tissue and provide rigidity to the tissue. Again, in this, the sieve tubes are arranged one after the other to form a pipeline-like structure. Function of nutrient by the process of photosynthesis and respiration. Okay, we all know photosynthesis is produced by the process of from the upper part to all the directions of the plant wherever the requirement of that material is present. So phloem will transport nutrients in all the direction from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. So in short, we can also say that phloem conducts food or the nutrients in all directions. This is all. Now let us see the assignment. You can just take a screenshot of this. First, take a screenshot of this so that you get the gist of all the types of permanent tissue. Hope you all have taken the screenshot. Now let us discuss the assignment. So the first question is, what are the types of simple permanent tissues in plants? Here we have these three simple permanent tissues. First is parenchyma, second is collenchyma, and third is sclerenchyma. Okay. So based on for what marks it is asked. If it is asked for 1 marks, you can just name the 3 types of the simple tissue. If it is for 3 marks, you can just write a description or the structure of these tissues with example of each type. Now, what are parenchyma tissue? Give one example of plant containing parenchyma. Are the modified parenchyma tissues to store air into it. It provides buoyancy to the aquatic plants. Example of these are, you can write lotus, eichhornia, pistia, whichever is simple for you, water lily. Next, which are the conducting tissues of the plant? Now see again, conducting tissues. We have discussed about the conduction of water and nutrients in the plant. So, xylem and phloem are the conducting tissue. They are also known as conducting tissues. So, the answer for the third question is xylem and phloem. Transport of water in plant is carried by water transporting tissue is xylem. Transport of nutrient is carried out by phloem. Now, write the difference between simple tissue and complex tissue. Is very simple as we discussed it now. Simple tissue is made up of one single cell type. Complex tissue is made up of more than 2 different cell types. Types of simple tissue: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Types of complex tissue: xylem and phloem. Okay. Write the names of following tissue. Tissue responsible for increasing height of the plant. Okay. Now this is from the meristematic tissue. Responsible for height means growth in length of the plant. It is because of apical meristeme. Next, tissue responsible for increasing girth of diameter. Girth of the stem, that is diameter of the stem. So for answer for this is intercalary meristeme. Okay. So this is all about the assignment. Please do complete the assignment in your book. This is not working. That is the end of the lecture. Thank you, students. Thank you for listening to the lecture quietly. If in case you have any doubt, we can just discuss it. Anyone is having any doubt? Hello, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
I have completed the lecture.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you.